As tensions are rising in the Middle East, the next chapter in the Carlos Ghosn saga is unfolding today in Lebanon. Ghosn, who jumped bail in Japan, fled to Beirut, will speak publicly for the first time since his arrest in Japan in November, way back in 2018. His media event is scheduled for 8 a.m. Eastern Time, and ahead of the news conference, Ghosn's defense team lashed out at Nissan, saying the company's investigation into him was a gross perversion of the truth. For more on what's at stake for Carlos Ghosn, let's welcome Ricardo Karam, a Beirut-based TV talk show host and friend of Carlos Ghosn. Mr. Karam has interviewed the former Nissan executive in the past, and thank you for joining us. And you're on record, Mr. Karam, stating that Mr. Ghosn was treated unfairly in Japan. So with that as the backdrop, you'll be at the press conference. What do you think we're going to hear from Mr. Ghosn?
I first believe that Mr. Ghosn has a lot to say, and now it's going to be the time to talk. He needs to be heard, and we need to listen to him. Knowing Mr. Ghosn for the past 22 years, he has a lot of clarity, so I believe he is going to tackle the tarnished aspect of all those accusations and allegations that have been following him since last November of the year 2019.
Well, you're in a unique position, Ricardo, knowing him, personally and knowing his character. So you would vouch for his character in his business dealings, and therefore you would have to look at Nissan perhaps as a place that maybe didn't give him a fair shake. You're saying you doubt that Mr. Ghosn would have engaged in these illicit activities. Have I got that right?
I believe in the case of Mr. Ghosn, one needs to look first at the basic rights any human being is entitled to have. The way Mr. Ghosn has been treated for the past 18 months, I repeat, is something nobody can eventually accept or tolerate. Guilty or not, we are all entitled to give our own version. We'll be all ears to listen to him, and he will be the only one who can reply to every single accusation, I repeat. This saga has been a very complex one. We've been all following it, and every day there is a new episode. And this gentleman hasn't spoken. He was supposed to give a press conference a few months ago, and this conference was forbidden at the end. And since then, it's a total blackout. So I believe in an hour, we'll be all ears to listen to him. And I believe what happened yesterday with the warrant against his wife, Mrs. Ghosn, is something that shows that many people want him to be silenced. Why? This is the big question.
Ricardo, do you believe that there is a way, maybe through the media and the efforts that he's going to undertake today and over the next several months, that he's going to be able to change the public opinion so much so that the Japanese will change their ultimate approach to him? And the reason I ask is because it seems to me that he is going to potentially either be stuck in Lebanon, potentially could go to France or a handful of places where there's no extradition, but that this is as much about a public hearing as anything else, and that the only way he's going to ultimately get his reputation back is if he could ever persuade those in Japan to drop the charges.
I think that Mr. Ghosn is not only going to defend himself. I believe he's going to attack. And this is another point quite important. Regarding the public opinion, it is divided, as everything in life. You have many people who are supportive to him, and you have, of course, a certain fraction of people who are against him. I have met a lot of Japanese journalists for the last 4 or 5 days, and I have spoken to them, and they came to me. And even in Japan, the public opinion is divided. And this is why, between a public opinion that already supports him and between attacking and proving to the whole world that those allegations are false, he will be capable of gaining again a certain of the lost public opinion, and he'll be able to clarify or to fix the tarnished image that has been following him and that was saying that there is embezzlement of money, he's a crook, etc. So he is the only one who can answer that and the only one who can clarify that.